Shalom. Before I hop into this lesson, I'm gonna give all praises to the Most High in their true Hebrew names and in the Hebrew tongue. Call Halayim, La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem, Bukwa, Kwadash, Amamath, and double honors to the apostles and elders, and shalom to you brothers and sisters, pushing and keeping this truth in faith and in sincerity into the end. Now, as you can see, the title of this lesson is Be Not Deceived. All right, and this lesson is stemming from an interaction I had the other day while I was sitting in the park. You know, you had three so-called Christians, two Hamite women and a Hamite brother. You know, that was going around the park offering to pray for people. You know, like offering prayers to people. Now they went to a couple folks, and then they came to me. I declined. You know, they walked off, but then they came back and said it was heavy on their spirit to talk to me and to pray for me or whatever. So I started getting into this truth, you know, like, nah, I don't want to accept those prayers. Y'all praying to a false God. That's not his name, you know, this and that. And we kind of got into a little debate to where they got cut up, you know, they got slaughtered, man. And it was just funny because, like, I'm still on the milk, you know, and I was slaughtering them. It was a one-sided battle, man, slaughtering them with just the milk. So this lesson is just gonna be breaking down that interaction a little bit, that debate a little bit. And I'm starting in the book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after the Messiah. All right, so the scriptures say, beware, man. Okay, they was going around the park, uh, trying to spoil people, man, with vain deceit, you know, deceiving people with that false philosophy and doctrine of Christianity, man. All right, his name is not Jesus. He didn't come for the whole world. All right, like they was trying to deceive people. They tried to come deceive me. They didn't know I was in this truth. They didn't know that I worshiped Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. They didn't know that I was in this truth and study these scriptures, man. You know, they did not know that. They tried to come deceive me, man. But I was on guard. Like as soon as I seen them come into the park, you know, I was aware of them. Scripture tell you to beware, man. And it was just funny because it was funny, man, because when we started debating, they started getting cut, man. And the two Edomite women, they got silent, you know, and it was like looking at scriptures on their phone, trying to find something to combat me with. You know, the Hamite brother looking to them for assistance and jump, because he getting cut up too. And when they didn't have anything else to say, one thing that stuck out to me is he said, I will pray for you that you receive the truth. All right. And that just leads me to the next scripture. And it's the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 15. And it reads, study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. All right. And I brought that out because he said he prays that I receive the truth, man. But they up there so-called trying to teach the Lord's word, and they don't know the truth. They don't have the truth, man. They're not rightly dividing the word of truth. They didn't know what the Most High and his son looked like. They didn't know that he has a chosen people. They did not know that he only came to the house of Israel, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. You know, they didn't know anything pertaining to this truth, man. But he telling me he gonna pray and ask that I receive the truth. I got it. You have been deceived, you know. And by the way they was operating, the one of the Edomite women, you could tell she was kind of like in charge of what they was doing. Because like I said, he kept looking to her for answers. Like, you have been deceived by these Edomites, man, and the philosophy and vain deceit of Christianity. I got the truth. And another one I want to bring, going back to that scripture, study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh. And like I said, I was cutting them up, man. It was a one-sided battle the whole time. They had nothing to combat me with, man. All right, I've been studying. I've been watching lessons. I've been going to camp. You know, it was just funny, man. All right, the next scripture I'm going to bring out is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. And it reads, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. All right, now I bring out that scripture because once they started getting cut up and they didn't have anything else to say, one of the Edomite women, she made a statement. She was like, she asked me if I was she asked the question, she asked if I was a student. And I was like, nah, why you say that? Or why do you ask that? She was like, because you seem well studied and well learned on the scriptures. All right. And I brought this out because it's the Most High who ordains brothers, and prophets and brothers to teach this truth, man, and uphold his word. All right, the word of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. All right, we are ordained from the Most High, man. We don't have to go to these seminary schools and these colleges to learn these scriptures. All right. And they go to those schools and learn nothing of this truth, man. Like I said, they didn't know anything that I was spewing to them, man. I was bringing out scriptures too. And they had nothing to combat against this truth, man. So, again, I brought that out. It's the Most High who ordains us, man, to teach this word, to teach this truth. We do not have to go to these seminary schools and colleges and earn these degrees to teach this word. Because that's what they did, and they couldn't even dissect this truth, man. They couldn't rightly divide this word of truth. So they wasted their time and their money at those schools and those colleges. I wanted to bring out one more scripture. And this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 1. And it reads, Proverbs chapter 28, verse 1. And it reads, The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. And I brought that out is because, again, when they started getting cut, man, they started hitting me with, okay, well, you have a nice day, trying to flee, man, trying to get away from this truth, trying to get away from this word. All right, when they saw that they could not deceive me or convince me or sway my mind, they had to flee, man. But I was sitting there bold as a lion. It was 3 against 1. All right. The battle was 3 against 1, man, but their swords were not sharper than mine. And by sword, I mean, these scriptures, man. I'm gonna bring that out one more time. Proverbs 28 and 1. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion, man. They worshiping and studying that false philosophy, man, that vain deceit. That Christianity, Jesus Christ, that's wickedness, man. And they could not stand up to this truth, so they had to flee. They did not stand bold as a lion. All right. Be not deceived, man. And brothers and sisters who really in this truth, man, none of these, if you sincerely in it, man, you can't be deceived no way, because we have received the truth. And nothing can come back or stand up against the word of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Nothing could stand up to this truth, man. So they wouldn't have even been able to deceive me. And with that, shalom, man.